Hello, everyone. I'm just going to be recording this as like a one little practice for me, but also I might send this out to everyone as also another version of the playback of this masterclass, this growth masterclass. Now, I want to just say, firstly, like this is my first masterclass, and I'm not going to lie, like I am shitting myself. I am nervous. I've had a fear of public speaking my whole entire life, but I understand that the only way for me to grow and push forward in my fears and I want to achieve all these things that I want in my life is to overcome all these things and just step outside my comfort zone. So right now, yes, I am pretty much shitting myself. But I understand how much benefit this will be for me and my business, but also how beneficial this will be for you guys. So I'm going to share my screen. Um, Now, the thing is, sweet, hopefully this is working. Now, the thing is, I just want to say is for the people that are doing the playback, I am going to be completely honest. You hopefully will still take a lot from it, but I am the type of person and the type of coach where I like to put things into practice. So yes, I can talk all I want and read all the statistics about the five key areas or whatever, but I believe that putting things into practice by doing activities that relate to these five areas is way more beneficial and you'll get so much more out of it. So what I encourage is when we start doing all the activities in this masterclass relating to the five key areas, I want you to find whether it's a partner, a friend, a loved one, a sibling, whatever. Try and get them involved and do the activity with them. So then you're still 100% participating in the masterclass, even if it is a playback. Yeah. Cool. So, my name is Brianna. I think a lot of you do know me. I am a mindset and confidence coach. I also am a dance teacher on the side. I do a lot of dance teaching in the evenings, but I am very excited to be sharing with you all these new exciting things that hopefully will help you with your growth and the things that you want to achieve in your life. So, yeah, let's get into it. Pretty much already said this, but my philosophy is about encouraging women just to be the best versions of themselves. We are very grateful to be here in the present, the here and now, to be living our lives. And I know that at times it can be really challenging when obstacles do arrive, but we need to understand how beautiful this world is and how we can literally basically grab everything with full force, take all the tools, and just run wild and just achieve everything you always wanted in life. So, a little reason why I'm here. Now, oh my God, I've got an ulcer on the side of my mouth, so it's starting to really hurt as I'm talking, but it's fine. So I'm sorry if I don't make any sense. Um, a little story about myself, and it's actually not really about myself, funny enough. Some of you may know this. It's actually about my mum. Now, my mum is pretty much the reason why I have started this. She was the reason that I had my aha moment. And I was like, I need to encourage other women this aha moment that I had, basically. So, about a year ago, my mum, she had a fall at work. That's all it was. She just grazed her knee, fell over at work, and her whole life completely changed in a flick. Completely. I don't want to get emotional because I love her so dearly, but basically, she now has a condition called CRIPS, chronic regional pain syndrome, and basically, it's a neurological disorder where your brain detaches your limb. So the knee that she grazed, now her brain has fully detached her right leg, and it creates the most extreme pain in the world. And unfortunately, it's now spread to her other leg, it's spread to her arms, it's spread to her back, her face, and she's in a lot of pain. They actually say it's the pain's worse than childbirth, right? And She's now wheelchair bound. She can't do anything with her life. She's not working because she physically can't. And it made me realize that literally life is so precious. Like we don't realize this until someone close to us or something happens to ourselves where we when we realize that life is actually so precious. And we hear the saying that, life is too short or all this sort of stuff. But now actually physically seeing it with my own mum, who's literally my best friend, it's made me realize that fuck, I was like, something has to give. Last year, when this was all happening, I was working, I think I still am, but I was working 5 jobs. I was hating my life. I was like, I'm doing all this bloody shit for what? Like, I'm just don't have any purpose. Um, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? My mum's sitting on the couch. She can't do anything. And I'm complaining about the things that I don't have and I'm not grateful and not actually creating the dream life that I want because I could go to bed tomorrow and not wake up because we don't know when we go to bed if we're going to wake up. And basically, I don't want to look and reflect back on my life and be like, I didn't at least try all the things I wanted to do in my life. Yeah, I don't want to regret anything in the future. So this is my philosophy, this is my thing, and this is my absolute be all end all is I encourage everyone. I can't stress this enough. Everyone to just take the initial leap of faith of the things that you want to do and just do it. Because you do not know what tomorrow looks like. And as far as you know, today could be your last day on earth. As real and scary and raw that is, it is just the truth. So if you want to sign up for that uni course, do it. If you want to leave that shitty job and you want to change your career path, do it. If you want to try out for this sport team or whatever, do it. If you want to move across the world and pursue a career over in Europe, do it. I cannot stress this enough. Anyways, that's my little like moment. Anyways, cool. So we're going to start off with some breath work, which I believe is such a really powerful tool and mechanism to have. It helps regulate your parasympathetic nervous system. Oh my God, again, English breed. Parasympathetic nervous system. Oh my gosh, that's okay. It's really powerful, and I really want you, even if you're on the playback, just to try and really immerse yourself into this experience. So, what I would like you to do is either if you're sitting, make sure both feet are planted on the ground. If you're like in your bed or on the couch, lay down. Why not? Don't worry about what other people are doing. This is just for you here right now. I'm just going to get my notes. All right. So once you have found a comfortable position, you may close your eyes. Now, the breath that we're going to be doing today is we're going to inhale for 3. We're going to hold for 3. And then we're going to exhale for 6. And ideally, we inhale through the nose and we exhale through the mouth. Yeah. Now, I want you just to continue with this breath, just constantly repeating this breath. And I know that our mind might start to wander, but once you realize this, just bring it back to the present moment. So just continue with this breath in for 3, hold for 3, out for 6. And as you settle in, give yourself permission to arrive fully in this moment. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Just breathe right. Let the outside world melt away and begin to come home to your body. If your mind's wandering, just bring it back to you, to the present. With every inhale, Invite in space and clarity. With every exhale, let go of what no longer serves you. Breathing calm, exhale tension. Imagine your breath washing through your body like a gentle wave, clearing, softening, releasing. With each breath out, feel your shoulders dropping, your jaw unclenching, and your heart softening. Allow gravity to do the work. Let yourself be felt. If we're wandering off again, just try and bring our mind back to the present. Let go of control, let go of effort, let go of needing to get it right. Just breathe. You don't have to hold it all in. It's safe to let go. What are you ready to release today? Exhale it, let it all fall away. Feel the breath moving through stuck places, loosening, unraveling, dissolving. Let go of the story, let go of the struggle, just be with the breath. Notice what it feels like to be simply here. Offer yourself gratitude for showing up, for choosing this moment of stillness. Carry this sense of space and ease with you into whatever comes next. Let's continue with this breath. In for 3, hold for 3, out. Just keep doing this in your own timing. I want you to start moving your body now. Just really slowly try to let go of any sort of tension you might feel in your body. What can you feel? What can you hear? Is there any noises outside that you might be hearing? And we're going to just bring our presence back to the here and now. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. I hope that was very lovely. A little bit of a joke is like sometimes in my dance classes, I have students at the end of class that will be like, Brie, can we just do a bit of breath work? Can we just do a bit of breath work? And I'm like, sure thing, let's do it. And they just like get really excited and they lay down, they do it. And it's a really nice way just to come back to the present and just be in the here and now. A lot of the time, yes, we breathe normally. It's part of our human nature just to breathe, but we tend to forget and realize that how valuable it is to have this breath, and just regulate it, because we tend to just obviously have our short breaths, and it helps us be so connected and present to our body. So it is really special. Cool. So now we're going to do some journaling prompts. This is where I want you to actually pull out a notebook and pen. Obviously, because it's sort of like a playback. What you might want to do is just pause this video, write down all the prompt questions. So we've got name 3 things I'm going to do the next week to challenge myself and my thoughts. What is one fear I can challenge this week to strengthen my confidence? What negative thoughts or beliefs do I need to release in order to fully embrace my worth? Think of a past challenge, what lessons or growth came from it, that you appreciate now? And lastly, what unrealistic standards am I holding myself to, and where did they come from? How would my life feel different if I embrace progress over perfection? Yeah. So write down these 5 prompts. I want you to write down your answer. It can be as little as big as you want. Yeah. And then once you have done that, continue on with this video. Cool. These are the 5 areas of growth. So we've got goal setting. We all know that if we set goals and we try to, you know, nut down and make sure that we're doing it and we're disciplined enough to actually achieve the goals, we know that's going to create growth. Sorry, oh my God. But I do goal setting differently because a lot of the time we have learnt that a lot of the time discipline can be a really hard thing to do, and we have these unrealistic ways of thinking how we've got to set out goals and everything, sort of by the school standard, that we're going to actually look into. Unstoppable. Oh God, my English day is so bad. Unstoppable confidence. We're going to dive deep into that and how fear of judgment looks like, and what it's like to be scared and overcoming our comfort zones and stuff like that. Self-love, we're going to go into that in the sense of how to change negative ruminating thoughts, because a lot of the time that's what we need to eliminate, not gain more self-love, but eliminate the negative talk. Gratitude, what it's like to actually show complete appreciation and gratitude. We tend to look at a very big picture, but we're going to make it a little bit smaller, understand gratitude in a completely different light. And then fearless authenticity, how to be 100% yourself. This also is about perfectionism and how to let go of that as well. Cool. So firstly, goal setting. This is from vision to reality. This is making sure that we have clarity in our goals, making sure that we're consistent, disciplined in a different way. So a lot of the time we get really overwhelmed with our goals. We tend to be like, whoa, shit, we're supposed to follow the SMART goal method that schools really implement into our brains, what is it? Specific, measurable, attainable. I could be wrong. Anyways, I remember when I was in high school, we would set all these SMART goals and they just seemed so big and so out of the picture that I was like, I feel like they're so out of like hands reach. They're not attainable. There's nothing driving me to wanting to get this goal. So I have looked into a different system that seems a lot more attainable and a lot more rewarding when it comes to setting goals and assuring that you actually achieve them. So we need to make sure that we change our mindset instead of if, but when. Having this almost like manifestation sort of mindset will also help you understand that this is how we're going to be able to achieve our goals. Yeah. No, if I get this job opportunity, or if I get accepted into this, whatever you're thinking of, right? But instead of when, we think when I get the job opportunity. And then we will actually have a bit more of a discipline and a bit more of an urge to want to achieve our goals. Instead of having one massive goal that always seems so out of like hands reach, we need to start breaking it down into smaller goals. So what I like to do is the bigger goal, I like to break it down into 3 goals, and they're a lot smaller. And I try to achieve those 3 goals in a system that obviously I can still see the growth and it makes like the end picture of what I truly want and desire, the big picture, not so scary and not so far away. Yeah. So by doing this, I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide of how to achieve these 3 goals. And also one thing that I like to do is have a bit of a motivational boost, because I know that, people go, I don't have motivation. Motivation, no one has motivation. It's discipline that we lack of. So if we have something that helps us continue to push through our goals, it makes it a lot easier. So one thing I like to complete is a bingo card. I actually have a little document that I will send out to you guys of this. And if you write down all these little goals on this bingo card, and what I like to do is once I've achieved my 4 in a row or whatever it is, I actually reward myself. And I reward myself for something that actually aligns with my goals. Yeah, if that makes sense. Um, and this will actually help you see the full potential of getting it and that little drive and that push to be like, yes, I want to achieve this goal. Yeah. So this is our first practical thing we're doing for today, and it's with our goals. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down your overall goal. Write it in your notebook. So for example, my example is in the white is I want to gain muscle at the gym and be stronger. Yep, that's my goal. That's my big goal that I want to gain muscle, which we know that means it's going to take a lot of work. I want to be stronger. We know that's so far away. That's so far out of hand's reach. And I'm just going to go, yeah, fuck it. But if we break it down, as you can see in step 2, into 3 smaller goals, we can then make it a little bit more achievable. So my 3 smaller goals is I want to meet all my macro groups in every meal I eat. I want to train 3 times a week at the gym, and I want to prioritize recovery at home by doing ice baths and stuff. Now, I will mention some people, 3 small goals could also be really overwhelming. So how about maybe stick to one of the smaller goals, and then once you achieve that, we move on to another smaller goal, if that makes sense. Yeah. Completely up to how you would think would make it a bit more beneficial and make it a lot more rewarding and achievable for you. Yeah. So I break it down into my 3 smaller goals. Then we need to set a desired time target for each 3 smaller goals that is realistic to hit this overall goal of me like wanting to achieve gaining muscle and being stronger. So to meet all my macro groups, I want to every day for consecutive 4 weeks or more. That's my time target. So I need to make sure that I'm eating well every day for consecutive 4 weeks or more. That's my time target. For training 3 times a week at the gym, it's pretty much self-explanatory. I wanted to be able to do it for 3 weeks, but I need to be consecutively. And then prioritize recovery. I could complete this once a week whenever I'm training, so for the 3 weeks that I'm doing to relate to this smaller goal. Then step 4, this is when we give ourselves a little reward for hitting this smaller goal. It's our motivator. Yeah. So, and it needs to actually correlate with your desired time target as well. So, but what I like to do is with my reward, I actually have it relating to my smaller goal. So meeting all my macro groups, once I have done that for the consecutive 4 weeks, I can then go out for dinner somewhere really nice. Yes, I'm still, achieving my goal, consistently doing it, creating it into a habit as well by going out for dinner. That's my little motivator, my little reward. Training 3 times a week at the gym. Once this is done, so after I've done it for 3 weeks, I can maybe go and do a special activity like Pilates or go and join a run group or something like that. Yeah. So that would be my little motivator or reward. Prioritize recovery. Once I have done this for the 3 weeks, I might be able to go to the Zen Den in Warragul, if anyone's from Warragul, and complete my recovery there. Yeah, so they're my little motivators. They're my little reminders and my little things that I push for so that I can try and achieve my goals and get there without it just being like, oh, well, too bad. So, whatever, I'll just start again tomorrow. And as we know, a habit takes 21 days to be created. So if we're not consistently trying to do this for 21 days, then we're not going to be able to achieve these habits that we want to create, whether it is these goals or whatever. So I want you to pause this video right now. I want you to do the 4 steps and then just sit with it and be like, is this now more attainable? is this more enhanced reach? Will this actually create a bit more discipline because now I have this motivator? Sorry, me. Um, yeah, I'm going to have this motivator that's going to keep me going with this goal. Yeah. So have that moment just to reflect on it. But in saying that, now that you have written your four steps and you now have your goals, I want you to take the time to write a small paragraph in context of your future self. Yep, you are going to write this letter that's about 6 sentences long, thanking your current self for taking the initiative and the steps to now reach this end goal, these three smaller goals. Yeah. Now, I want you to then, once you've written this letter, put down today's date and the desired date you want to open it. And this will be correlating to your time target. So if for me, I think if it was, I might give myself 4 weeks. Yeah. So in 4 weeks' time, I'm going to then open this letter, and it's this letter thanking myself for completing these goals. Yeah. And one thing you can do is if you're getting a little bit off track, I encourage you to actually write a separate letter to your current self. And this letter to your current self, I literally did some of my retreat with my coach. It was awesome. It is your little reminder to be like, why are you slacking off? Why are you not doing the things that you know is going to help you and create this ultimate growth? Yeah. So if you want to, write that current letter to yourself as well once you finish this letter to your future self. They're both completely different. The future self is thanking you. That's what you open after your desired date, your time target date. But then you can also write a letter to your current self to basically put you back into a line if you start to slip up. Yeah? Cool. Pause this video, and then once you've completed that, we will continue. Awesome. So our next topic is unstoppable confidence. So not letting fear or judgment hold you back. Yeah. We tend to let self-doubt come in. We tend to, you know, have fear stop us all the time. And if anything, like this is actually something that even I'm still trying to put into practice. Yeah. I can come across like a very confident person, but fear of failure can always still creep in and stop me from achieving all the things I want in my life. But I have to keep reminding myself of this mindset of the only way I'm going to grow is overstepping that fear of failure. Yeah. Oh, I skipped too quickly. Oh, you might already know what the task is. That's fine. Let me make my notes. I am a little bit of a statistics queen, so that's fine. So most of us can imagine the person that we see is a very confident person. We look at them from like an outside picture and we go, oh, they seem so confident, you know, they must be born this way, you know, they must work very hard and trust every single decision that they make. Do we actually know that? Do we actually know that's how they're feeling 24/7? Yeah. As I've mentioned before, with my own development and personal, development with my own journey and in my own confidence, yes, I am a very confident person in the sense of like I can talk to people, that's fine. But one thing I have a massive fear of, I said before, is fear of public speaking. So right now I do have notes because I do like statistics, right? But due to like I do have dyslexia, as you can tell, because I can't say the fucking word properly. I have dyslexia. So when I'm actually reading and when I know that like statistics and stuff is really beneficial, sometimes I can stumble on my words and then I can start having that, oh, I'm not that confident. Oh, this is not great. Like, oh, I've got this fear of public speaking. This is, you know. But I understand that personal growth, the only way for me to actually become a better person is overstepping this fear. Yeah. So that is where confidence comes into. And it's not, fake it till you make it sort of thing. It's just pushing your boundaries and your comfort zone a little bit further. And that will help you obtain the confidence that is needed. It's by doing new things. Yeah. So we understand that confidence and fear are deeply interconnected because they both originate from the brain's survival mechanism. Yeah. It's our way of survival. We stay in our comfort zones and we don't explore confidence and the thing that fears us because we're only trying to like stop ourselves from any sort of danger, threat. Yeah. So fear is designed to protect us from these threats, but in modern life, it often is triggers self-doubt and hesitation rather than like a physical danger. Yeah. So when fear activates the amygdala, our fight or flight system that's within our brain, it overrides the prefrontal cortex, which is what's responsible for our decision making, and our problem solving and our confidence. And it makes it harder to think clearly and trust in our own abilities. So this is why fear often leads to procrastination, avoidance, or second guessing ourselves, which then starts holding us back from opportunities that could build confidence. Yeah. Um, so it's really interesting how like these small things can actually really trigger our fight or flight and stop us from creating these ultimate decisions that will actually help us grow and develop our confidence. On a good note, confidence can be strengthened in the brain through neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity. See, that's all good. Which is how the brain can adapt and change its pathways and beliefs, but consistently facing fears in small, manageable steps through exposure therapy, positive self talk, controlling ruminating thoughts, which we will get to as well, and changing your focus, even as small as physical. So, physically holding yourself as confident being, even though you might not feel as confident, the fear response weakens and confidence will start to grow. Yeah. So basically, just saying that if we keep trying to push this a little bit, not to the extreme, but we keep trying to face our fears in small and manageable amounts, neuroplasticity can happen within our brain, which will hopefully change the way that we feel and create more confidence. So the key is to act despite of fear. Do it scared. This doesn't mean fake it till you make it, but more like put in the work to not let fear override any decision making that is best for you and your growth. The more we do this work over time, the brain will adapt, making confidence the new default state instead of self doubt. Which is just crazy to think that it's not something that we're born with. It's just something that we just have to keep testing. Keep something to keep nudging and keep pushing through. Yeah. So this task, this next task will involve someone. So if this is your playback, you might need to go and find someone close to you that's in your bubble, whether it's a partner, family, friend, sibling, etc., to do this activity with. If they want to do it too, great, they can. But I want you to do this in front of this person. Ideally, someone that is not extremely close to you because this will then test your comfort zone. If it's your partner, then you're not going to maybe take as much from it. But obviously, just get who you can. um, you're going to write down one thing that you are proud of. It can be a skill, an achievement, a personal strength, whatever it may be. It can be as big or small. So, for example, I'm great at problem solving. I can finish a tough project, or I can make the best pancakes. Whatever, right? Then you're going to share this. Yeah. You're going to brag about this for 30 seconds. You are not allowed to downplay. Don't need to rush. You can speak really clearly and look at this person directly in the eye. If you don't have anyone to do this with right now, I want you to video yourself. We all have these. Video yourself. Brag, look straight into the camera, and I want you to send it to me. Yeah. So for me, I will go right now. I'll do my 30-second brag. Is I know for a fact I'm a confident dancer. I am a very confident dancer. I am very grateful in the sense of the amount of training that I have. I have danced with, Tones and I've done all these massive things with my career. I've been very fortunate in the sense of to now be dance teaching and to now teach my students all the things that I grew up with, and watch them grow and become the best versions of themselves throughout their dancing careers. Um, and I'm very proud of that. And since a little girl, from when I was 8 years old, I always wanted to be a dance teacher. And now I am continuing with this and making sure that I am making her proud. Now, me saying this is not me having a massive ego. A lot of people might think that. If they talk about themselves and they go, yep, I've danced tones tonight, that's not me having a massive ego. That's me just being completely proud and confident in the things that I have done and achieved in my life. And that's okay. We tend to think that confidence can sometimes relate to ego. Ego is when it's almost downplaying someone else, if it's hurting someone else. Yeah. Like, I'm better than you. That is ego. But if you're stepping in and just expressing the things that you're confident in within your own self, not involving anyone else, but just being like, I am confident in the person I am today and the things that I have done, then that's okay. Yeah, it's not ego and it's not rude either. It's not rude for you to share this about yourself. Yeah, you should be like, fuck yeah, I've done that. Fuck yeah, I am good at that. And that's okay. Yeah. So I want you to now do your 30-second brag, whether you're going to film yourself and send it to me, whether you're going to find a loved one that you're going to do it with, pause this video, sit them down, and you're going to be so confident in what you're saying. No downplaying, no sorry, no apologizing. Just be authentically yourself. Pause this video. And then once you've done that, we're going to continue. So now we're going to do another reflection in relation to this task. So I want you to pull out your notebook, your pen, whatever. And you're going to now write down, how did it feel to confidently share something good about yourself? Yeah. Be completely honest about this. Yeah. Write it down. What do we sometimes struggle with? Self-promotion, and how can we change that? Yeah. A lot of us think that we're being rude or egotistical or anything like that. So I want you to write down what you maybe struggled with this sort of exercise. Yeah. And then what's one area of your life where you could start speaking about yourself in a more confident manner? Yeah. Write this down. Pause this video, do what you need to do, and then we're going to move on. Cool. We're on to self-love now, which is great. It's about being your own best friend, not letting negative self-talk be the thing that's almost holding yourself back. Yeah. This will help you live a happy and fulfilling life. Yeah. So, we tend to not lack positive self-talk, but we speak to ourselves in such a negative light. We say in front of the mirror, oh, I don't look good in this. Yes. Oh, my face. Oh my God, look at this. It's physical. Oh, I'm just such a loud person. Yeah. We tend to speak more negative than positive. It's not the positive that we're lacking on. It's changing the way we think negatively and doing and speaking ourselves in a more positive way. My face does look good. I do like my outfit. I'm not a loud person. I'm just confident. Yeah. It's changing the way that we think in that sort of regard. So, um, we never compliment ourselves. We never do. We always do the complete opposite. And most of the time when people actually compliment ourselves, we go, no, really? Oh, thanks. Oh, really? And we don't actually take it in, oh, really? I don't think so. It just be like, thanks to the compliment. Yeah. So here's a couple of strategies to help eliminate the negative self-talk, right? So Dr. Jim Doty, he suggests that if negative thoughts come into play from our reticular active system, then we need to start directing it to something else really random. Yeah. So he suggests to find a shape of a heart. Yeah. So if you're like driving and you're thinking of something so negative about yourself, think about this sort of strategy, Dr. Jim Doty, see, English brain, and start looking for a heart. I can see a heart there. I can see a heart there. And funny enough, eventually your brain will actually subconsciously start to do this whenever like a negative thoughts appear. So you go, oh, yep, I don't like what I'm wearing. Oh, negative self-talk. All right, where's a heart? Yeah. Just try and see how that strategy might go. And it might help you change your processing of negative thoughts towards yourself. Something that's really cool to actually understand is that 6 to 10 million bits of information comes to your mind and body per second. That is just ridiculous. Per second, 6 to 10 million, right? But Doty points out that your conscious brain can only handle 50 to 100 bits of information. So 99% of this information is how our body operates, right? Which basically leaves us with like 1% of everything external, which then we start to use these ruminating thoughts. Oh, I don't like the way I'm looking. Oh my God, my face. Yes, I'm so loud. Oh my gosh, my hair. Yeah. This is why we need to always bring our awareness to what is important, and which is our reticular active system, which is where these ruminating thoughts come from. So our minds don't ruminate as often. We start to use this strategy of finding a heart. Yeah. Taking compliments from people that's trying to dismiss them. Yeah. Changing the way we think when we think negative and actually verbalizing the complete opposite, even if we don't believe it. Yeah. So if you're going, oh my God, I'm such a loud person. Now you're going to say the opposite. I'm not a loud person. Now, you might disagree with that, but by verbalizing it and saying it, your brain will actually start to believe it. Yeah. Um, Martha Beck, New York's best-selling author, explains that the best way also to stop ruminating thoughts is to focus on a project. Yeah, and we're not talking about a school project, keeping yourself busy, but when the mind starts attacking itself, that's when negative thoughts come into play. And she uses the metaphor of when like a dog has a task, such as like fetching a stick and returning it to its owner. That is its purpose. That is its task. That's its project. Yeah. And when it's not doing its project or its purpose, the dog will actually start being destructive and start ripping apart toys or peeing everywhere or whatever, right? So as humans, we need to do the same thing. If we're not focused on a project, and it can be as small as like doing the dishes or meditating or, you know, even if we need to watching the TV or whatever, not that I completely recommend it, but it helps us to stop attacking ourselves, because when we're bored, that is when our brain starts ruminating. Um, and it's really important to keep the 50 to 100 bits of information that we spoke about before on a project that is beneficial to ourselves. Yeah. So this should hopefully help almost like a distraction of when those ruminating thoughts come into play, and make sure that we are changing our thought pattern by keeping ourselves preoccupied with our project, or training our brain to be like, where's a heart? There's a heart, and finding that shape. Yeah, cool. Now I love this task. I love this task so much. For some, you might have saw me do this task in a different way on my socials, which was so much fun. I found it a bit more releasing doing it the way I did on my socials. But what we're going to do is you're going to write on a piece of paper. Make sure it's not in your journal. It needs to be just like a plain piece of paper. All the negative thoughts you have about yourself. Yeah. You can use journaling prompts or whatever. I just realized that because I need to get rid of that sentence. Basically, a lot of these practices I've done with my clients previously. So that's why I was like, I've taken this activity from one of my other presentations. I was like, I don't need that sentence, but it's okay. But basically, you're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to write all the negative thoughts and beliefs that you have about yourself. You'll notice that you'll actually write a fair bit, because that's what we are. That's what we do as human beings. And then on the other piece of paper, I want you to write the complete opposite, everything positive about yourself, which I know that you're going to find a lot more harder. You're going to struggle with this bit initially a lot more. Yeah. So one piece of paper, all the negatives, one piece of paper, all the positives. Yeah, that should be the opposite of this. Once you have finished writing your negatives and your negatives, rip that shit. You're going to rip it apart. And I don't want you to be like, okay, now I've done it. Pick up the piece of paper. I want you to go, yep, I've written it. Cool. All right, cool. Then you're not actually putting your awareness and focus into it. I want you to sit there for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, read it, and keep telling yourself, this is not true. This is not true. Put in intention. The things on this paper are not true. And then when you rip it with intention. Rip it with purpose. Release it. Understand that I'm not going to talk to myself in this way anymore because these things are not true. And I can tell you this. No friend of yours will say any of these negative things about you. You would not speak to your future child in this way, in this negative self-talk. Your mum would not say any of these things about you. So why are you saying it about yourself? When at the end of the day, this is all you got. This is it. There's nothing you can change about it. Yeah? People can tell you otherwise that you are a confident person, you are gorgeous, and stuff like that. But if you don't believe it yourself, then something's got to give. Yeah? So we need to rip this piece of paper with complete, full intention. Then with your positive piece of paper, you're going to stick it onto the mirror in your bathroom. Yeah? And you're going to read it every day. Yes? I am pretty, I am confident, I am strong, whatever you're writing on it. Yeah? And I want you to actually read this piece of paper out aloud. Look yourself in the mirror and be like, I am a confident person, or whatever you're writing on a piece of paper. Yes? And you know what? If you share a bathroom with someone, so be it. Yes? If anything, if they start saying stuff about it, that is just them almost being jealous and envying the fact that you're actually focusing on your growth. Yeah? So pause this video, do these steps. If you're in your house already, stick that piece of paper on your mirror, ready to go. So then each morning or when after you shower, or while you're brushing your teeth, whatever it is, you're going to read each positive note, and you need to tell yourself that these things on the piece of paper are completely and 100% true about myself. Yeah? Cool. So pause this video and then we'll continue on. Gratitude. I find this really special. It is really, really special. Um, we tend to think of gratitude in a really larger scale of things instead of like a smaller scale of things. And reflecting on healthy comparison when it comes to gratitude. We do think comparison can be a negative thing, but we do it in a healthy manner to just bring ourselves and having a bit more understanding of how lucky we are, then that's okay. You're not hurting anyone doing that and saying that to yourself. Yeah. Emily Fletcher, the founder of Ziva Medication. Yeah. A site that's well known for medicational training and stuff like that. Mentions that she has found that gratitude has the same effect as an antidepressant, which is just insane. Yeah. It produces a feeling of a long-lasting happiness and contentment. Gratitude also releases serotonin, which expresses when expressed or retrieved. Sorry. We practice gratitude, we can strengthen our neuron pathways, hence creating a permanent positive nature within ourselves. Yeah. How crazy is it just to think that, like, you know, that if we practice like gratitude on a daily basis, it actually has the same effects as an antidepressant. Like, that is just so cool. I think that's just so cool. Research has shown that Practicing gratitude activates the brain's reward system, the prefrontal cortex, and the dopamine. Greek. So sorry. It's the yeah, dyslexia again. System, which are linked to motivation and emotional regulation. Gratitude reduces stress by decreasing cortisol levels, improves sleep by reducing negative thoughts, and increase melatonin levels. It also creates resilience by shifting our focus from what is lacking in our lives to what abundance of things that we have, which is so cool. Yeah. A study was conducted in 2003 to see if gratitude could change humans' physical well-being. The study showed that a percentage of patients who kept a gratitude journal reported reduced pain syndromes in everyday life and are more willing to go to the gym and cooperate in treatments produced to you see the dyslexia? Yeah. Basically, cooperate in treatment procedures needed for their bodies and recovery. So basically, they've noticed that practicing regular gratitude will make you want to do more of the physical things that benefits your overall health and recovery. This will reduce. So this was far out. This was caused by high levels of dopamine, hence filling us with more vitality there by reducing subjects' feelings of pain. Yeah. So because they were feeling more high levels of dopamine, their feelings of pain were actually more reduced. And this is from practicing the regular gratitude. Gratitude's like a muscle, yeah? So the more we practice it, the stronger and more natural it becomes. And just like the gym, where you build physical strength, gratitude builds emotional resilience and happiness. So, yeah, I think it's a really cool thing to have. So we need to start breaking it down into such a smaller picture of what we actually have an abundance of. Then there's a larger scale of life, of things that we have. So, this activity, you need to do this with your friend, partner, parent, sibling, whoever. If you want to film yourself and send it to me, that is completely fine. You're going to grab an item, tangible item in your house that you're going to show gratitude towards. I want you to think outside of the box. Yeah, I don't want you to be embarrassed of your item or whatever. And I know that we're showing something a bit tangible. It's a bit hard to show something that's a bit intangible, but you're going to grab something that has complete meaning in your life, makes you grateful. Could make you feel grateful towards someone that you love because they gifted it to you. It could be a story behind it that just makes you feel a special way. Yeah. Yeah, and I want you to grab this item and I want you to express your gratitude and the story behind it. Yeah. I've done this activity with other clients of mine and I have this shell. Really random, this is shell, right? But I got this shell in Fiji. So one, I was really grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to go to Fiji. Yeah. I am fortunate that I can be able to travel and see culture and meet new people. Yeah. But I bought this shell from this village. Funny enough, it's called Shell Village. And there's only population like 200 people at this village. And this is a bigger picture of gratitude, I would have to say, but these people don't have much. Their houses are very little. I saw their school. The kids are so grateful to be able to have an education. We would gift them, pens and pencils and notebooks and go, oh my God, look at this pen. This is amazing. Right. And they were so grateful for such little things, which then shifted my thoughts of gratitude. Well, fuck, like if they're so grateful to have a pen and notepad, but they have these houses that are not completely great, and don't really get a great source of food or like health and stuff like that, then I'm reflecting, going, well, God damn it, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to have a roof over my head. I am very lucky to be able to speak to you guys right now. Yeah, it did fully change my thoughts on gratitude. So I want you to grab your item that might have a special meaning to you. It might not have to be anything that helps you think of gratitude, but it could be just something about like a person or a story. And I want you to express this to someone that in your bubble could be, yeah, to your parent, loved one, sibling, whoever, right? If you don't have anyone, sorry, film yourself, send it to me. Yeah. Really take the moment to express how meaningful this thing is to you. Cool. Not every task has a reflection question. That's fine. This is our last topic for this little masterclass. This is fearless authenticity. Yeah, so letting go of self-perfection. Yeah, so this is just making sure that we are completely 100% ourselves and assuring that we can be confident with ease and understanding to let go of fear of judgment. So, a lot of the time we tend to seek perfection, not always for ourselves, but from people pleasing behaviors and self validation. We also tend to seek perfection in ourselves due to fear of failure, social expectations, personal beliefs of what we think self worth also looks like. Striving for excellence isn't always a bad thing, but perfectionism can be harmful as it can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, procrastination, or burnout. Psychologists Paul Hewitt and Gordon Fleet identified there's actually three forms of perfectionism. So I'll go through the three. Self-oriented perfectionism is about you. It's you not having so you having unrealistic expectations on yourself, and having high perfect standards on yourself and being so hard on yourself. So it's always trying to seek perfectionism in within you. Yeah. Secondly, we have other oriented perfectionism, which is you having high standards for others. So you having having high standards for others, unrealistic expectations for others, holding others to a perfect standard and being hard on others when they don't meet those expectations. Thirdly, we have social prescribed perfectionism, which is believing others have high standards about you. So whether you think that others are holding you to a perfect standard and that others will be crucial of you when you're not meeting their expectations. So they're the three that Paul and Gordon have identified. So you've got self-oriented perfectionism, which is to do with you. Other-oriented perfectionism, which is you having high standards for others. And social prescribed perfectionism, which is believing others have high expectations and standards about you. So I want you to sit there and just reflect on, in your life, which three of these sort of forms of perfectionism do you think that you tend to see in your life? Are you setting yourself to be this high standard and achieve these high expectations about yourself? Do you believe that others have high expectations of you? Or do you have high expectations of others? I would say for myself, I am definitely more socially prescribed perfectionism. I believe that others have high expectations of me, and I start to really doubt whether I can also set myself to the example of what they expect to see me at. But it's also just reminding myself that, you know, it's okay to be 100% myself. I can try my best in all these areas, but if I'm not their ideal version of perfect, then that's their issue, not mine. That's something I've definitely had to sit with. Yeah. I am perfectly and amazing as the person I am, 100% authentically myself. And if someone has an issue with it, they want to judge, they want to put me on this pedestal, then that's just a reflection on them and not on me. Yeah. A study between 1989 and 2024 has found that the levels of perfectionism in college students increased by a significant amount, that perfectionism caused by social pressures increased at twice the rate. A separate study has conducted in 2022 on students younger than like college university students, like 16 to 25 years of age. Um, and it's found that 85.4% of these students have perfection traits due to their academic achievements and now have high levels of stress that have affected their physical and mental health. So a lot of these university students, because we have all these thoughts and expectations of we need to obviously have these high grades and these high academic sort of standards in order to get the career that I want, or get the grade that I want, that then we actually end up with this really high and not great expectation of what our perfectionism should look like. We just make ourselves so overwhelmed, and then it's actually affecting our physical and mental health. So if you have unrealistic standards, are quite self-critical, or so fixated on an outcome and a result, or have fear of failure, overwork yourself and procrastinate, then you're most likely a perfectionist. And we need to try and change this behavior and beliefs that you have on yourself and people pleasing. We need to start gaining a perception on what actually matters in our lives and be more self-compassionate and understanding that it's stemming from fear of judgment. And if someone were to judge, it's an insecurity on them, not on you. Cool. So our activity is a rush self-portrait. So again, you're going to find your family member, friend, partner, sibling, whoever it is that you're doing these exercises with. And I want you to put a timer on for 3 minutes, and you're going to create a portrait of someone. If you don't have anyone, you can create a portrait of me and you can take a photo and you can send it to me. Yeah. The key is speed over perfection. I want you to actually use a pen as well. No pencils with an eraser. You're going to use a pen or a texter or whatever, something you can't erase. Then you're going to then share this portrait to this person, whether it's to me or this loved one of yours within your bubble. And you cannot apologize. You can't go, oh, I'm so sorry, look how bad it is. Oh, it's so unfinished. You need to own it. Yep. This is the portrait I drew of you. You're not going to offend them. Yep. And again, if they're offended, then again, that's an insecurity of them. You literally have 3 minutes to create this portrait. Yep. Do your best and make your portrait. A client and myself have done this and it was great. Both of our portraits weren't great. We're not going to lie. There were 30, what was it? 3 minutes. Very rushed portrait with the pen, and neither of us apologized. We were like, look at your nose. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh yeah, look at your hair. Yeah, we do not need to seek perfectionism. And the thing is, we're so scared of what people have to think that we need to just let go of that fear of judgment. Yeah. So if you are doing this with a loved one, I really want you to try and see if you can, like, maybe make sure that's not someone that's really close to you. Yeah. Someone that might be a little bit further outside of your bubble. Yeah. Even if it's someone you're not with right now, maybe think of a friend. Yeah. That's within your little circle of friends, and you might draw a portrait to them and then you might send it to them. I did this in 30 seconds. It was part of my mom. 30 seconds. Sorry, myself. I did this in 3 minutes. Yeah. And you're going to send it to them. You're not going to apologize. None of that. You're just going to be authentically just doing the task, and no stress or fear of failure or fear of judgment. Cool. Pause the video and do that. Awesome. Now you're going to do your reflection. So what emotions came up when you created something without worrying about how perfect or the perfectionism behind the actual product that you're producing? How did it feel to share something imperfect with other people? Yeah. How can we apply this mindset to everyday life? Yeah. That fear of judgment, that fear of failure sort of thing. Think about a recent time where perfectionism has held you back from taking action. How might you embrace the messy action and have this change of outcome? And one small way you can practice imperfect action. God, practice your imperfect action in your daily life. So how can you put this into practice? Pause this video, complete this reflection, and sit with it. Yeah. Awesome. This is your homework. I know it looks really scary at the moment, but that's fine. This is just five little things I want you to do that is relating to this. And I actually want you to share with me after this masterclass how you went with these little bits of homework, okay? Take photos of how you applied it. The only way that you're going to really take this masterclass is by just taking everything you learned today and actually putting it into practice. And I know that it can be scary to take this like this faith and this step of growth, but it will absolutely and 100% create this change and you will see results. Yeah. So I'm going to send you a worksheet I've made on Canva with your goal setting. It will be including the future letter you wrote to yourself, your goals, and it also has a bingo card for you to complete to help you with that little motivator that we discussed about. Your unstoppable confidence. You're going to record yourself talking about a skill and watch it back. I know some of you might have already done this if you didn't have anyone to speak to. You record yourself on your phone, but it's good to actually watch it and try not to be so self critical on yourself. Yeah, we tend to watch ourselves and go, oh, I wasn't speaking confidently, or gosh, I'm being really egotistical right now. No, you're not. You need to watch it without being so critical. I also want you to do something that scares you, even if it's a little or big, whatever it is. Yeah, something that you know that makes you scared, you know, that's going to make you step outside your comfort zone and reflect on that. And how does that feel? So maybe it's like you wanted to start a Pilates class, but you're so scared of like judgment or fear of failure. You just need to just sign up and just do it and then reflect and be like, yeah, I fucking did that. Yeah. So whatever you want to do. Self-love, stick your paper we spoke about on the mirror and read it aloud every morning. I think that will be really beneficial. Also, dedicate a day to you. Do something that's outside of your comfort zone. Say yes to something that you've always wanted to do in your life. Go on a solo date. Do something that is beneficial to yourself, but you must do it alone. I want this to be this moment of being your own best friend. Yep, and this is your project. Yeah, cool. Gratitude. You're going to choose one person in your life, friend, family member, co-worker, even a stranger. If you really want to try and step outside your comfort zone, I would actually suggest doing a stranger that you've encountered. For one day, try and imagine the world through their eyes. Yeah, ask yourself, what might they be grateful for today? What challenges might they be facing that I don't see? How can I contribute to their gratitude, big or small? And I want you to write a reflection of what you've noticed and whether it's changed how you see them and also how you see in your own life, in your sort of gratitude. We will share this again. I just realized this is for my last educational Zoom. But if you want to share this with me, more than welcome to. Yeah, I want you can write down your little reflection, be like, hey, Brie, I was watching this person and seeing gratitude through their eyes, and I noticed this, and I picked up on this, and I think it's made me reflect on the things I'm grateful for in this way. Yeah. The next challenge is if you want to express this gratitude directly to this person, either through a note or a message or a kind act, it will actually really make their day. Yeah. Lastly, your fearless authenticity. For one day, like this fortnight or whatever, intentionally do something at 80% instead of 100%. This could be sending an email without editing or overthinking it, posting on social media without thinking about it. You know, we tend to just be like, oh my God, I need to like read this paragraph 10 times before I post it. Yeah. Complete a task without trying to make it perfect. Yeah. Then I want you to reflect. Yeah. What tasks did you choose and how did it make you feel to complete it imperfectly? Did anyone notice or care that it was imperfect? And how did this challenge shift your mindset about perfectionism? This is your homework. I will be sending this presentation to you all as well. So if you don't need to write this all down, you can just come back to this slide and complete your homework. And I do want you to share with me how you all went, and I will keep you guys accountable in the group chat as well. Lastly, this is my ultimate coaching package. This is what I'm about to sell you. um, I'm very fortunate with what I do for a living and how I can watch other women grow and be with them on their journey. And I love what I do. This is what I have to offer. Sorry, myself. This is what I have to offer. So I offer monthly one-on-one coaching either on Zoom or in person. Then it's completely up to you whether you want to do it in Zoom or in person. I do fortnightly educational Zoom calls on relevant topics. So very similar to what you've seen here. So the 5 topics that we've covered today, I already have expressed with other clients in the past. Hence why my presentation is a little bit muddled up, but it's okay. But it's really beneficial because if you tell me, hey, Brie, I'm lacking on this area, then I will create a presentation on the area and then we can dive deep into how we can change this and grow in the area that we want to improve on. I do weekly check-ins on a questionnaire with a video response I send back to you based on the answers that you've given me. I also do sisterhood events. So we all catch up, all my clients catch up, and we do little things like we might go and do Pilates together, or we'll go have a picnic in the park, or we'll do ice baths, or little things that we know is really beneficial in our sort of like wellness and growth sort of journey. I also have an app. And in this app, which is also within this package, I have 24/7 one-on-one coaching online through personal messaging. So if you're going through something, whether it's at school or in your personal life or at work, and you're going, fuck, Brie, I don't know how to approach this with a clear mindset or what I should do, you literally can just message me and I will send you a response back of the tools and the things that I suggest that you do to help you in this circumstance. We have community forums with ebooks, tools, and resources within this app. I think it's so cool. Even other ebooks from other people, that's not just from myself, that I can send you in all areas that you want to improve on. Personalized programs to help further you in what you want to improve on, same sort of idea of the ebooks. So you literally, you could be like, Brie, I just want to learn more about self-love. And I can create a program to help you put this into practice. And I can also keep you accountable and see your progress and what you're doing that will help you with your growth. I also have habit tracking and journaling through this app as well, which is awesome. Really cool. This ultimate coaching package, only for a limited time, is $30 a week, which is insane. So if you sign up now, it will be ongoing for $30, but once I do reach a cap number, my prices will be going up. Not for you if you've already signed up, but in the future for any new people, my price will be going up. So you need to get in now if you want to keep the $30 consistently, which is a massive deal. Like it's literally no money. I spend a lot more money with my own mindset coach. So get in now before this deal runs out. Cool. Basically, put in the work. Your future self will thank you later. I just want to say thank you so much for attending the Zoom. You need to thank yourself for attending this masterclass. I know that it can be scary trying to take the initial leap of faith in your journey to self-development, but reflecting from now, your future self will absolutely thank you if you put in the effort. So cool. I will send you all my resources. I will send you also a sign up document if you're willing and want to look into our coaching package. If you're still unsure on the fence, I am still offering free one-on-ones for anyone that wants it, that we can discuss all the things that you do want to continue and grow on, whether it's your goals that we've discussed today. If you couldn't attend today because you're busy, but you want to sort of indulge in this a little bit more while speaking to me and share your experience on it, we can do that in a free one-on-one. But please let me know how you have taken this masterclass and how you have going to apply it in the real world. But I wanted to say thank you so much for signing up. Obviously, it's my first masterclass ever, and it is very daunting and scary for me, but I know this is also really good for my own growth. So I just want to say thank you so much for having trust and faith in me, and listening to what I have to offer as well. So awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whatever it may be. And I hope to hear from you guys very soon.